I have an update on the Ali return a car situation, and this will be the last update because everything is now resolved. If you don't know, Ali bought a car 2 months later, completely out of the blue. The dealership said, hey, we need our car back. We can't title your vehicle. We tried to go back and forth, and we finally got the information from them confirming that the dealership bought this car from auction, and it was the auction that could not supply the title, even though they listed that the car was titled and clean. Now, long story short, we got everything resolved and everything taken care of, and with a lot of pressure put on the dealership, conveniently they were able to talk to the auction house, and guess what? They found the title. So after a stressful journey, Ali gets to keep her car, which is a huge win. But I do want to talk about a few lessons that you could learn if you were ever in this situation. The number one rule, in my opinion, the most important rule, is do everything via email or via text. Do not talk on the phone. The reason being is you want a paper trail if you ever have to go farther and farther with this. You do not want to have things that you do not have recorded on a dedicated line, and you can't record everybody on every phone call. So always do everything in email so you have a paper trail. Second, threats can only go so far. You do not want to threaten to a dealership to the point where they just point you to their lawyer. You want to be firm with what you want and understand what the dealership can and can't do. For example, Ali was never going to get a free car out of this whole situation. If she was to ask for this, the dealership was going to seem unreasonable. Now, were we talking about getting her a replacement car or even talking about upgrading her to a new car for a similar cost? Absolutely. All of this was in the conversation. But making demands and being threatened to the dealership will only take you so far. Third and finally, and not everybody will like this answer, but if you ever decide to make a social media post like Ali did and like Brooke did, don't use the dealership's name, at least not at first. Because when you don't use the dealership's name and your video ends up getting a lot of views, that gives you leverage. And I will tell you, a dealership getting bombarded with bad reviews might just shut down because the damage is already there, compared to having hundreds of thousands of millions of views of people that are waiting for a resolution. Don't use the dealership's name. Use that for leverage to try to get a resolution. I'm telling you, it works magic. It worked for Ali, it worked for Brooke, and it could work for you. If you ever need help with these situations, I try to help everybody I can. I did not charge Ali a dime for me helping her out. I just gave her some free advice, gave her some guidance along the way, and she gets to keep her car, which is a huge win. This is super exciting, and congratulations to Ali, and hopefully nobody has to go through this again.